Story 1. My name is Lane, a Buddhist living in HCM City. The following experience is, to me, a remarkable testament to the extraordinary spiritual response of the Great Compassion Mantra, one of the most revered mantras in Buddhism. At that time, my grandmother was nearly 90 years old. Unfortunately, she suffered a serious fall. Our family took her to the HCM City Orthopedic and Traumatology Hospital. The doctor told us that because of her advanced age and frail condition, all they could do was bandage her injuries and let her recover at home. He explained that there was no guarantee her bones would heal properly, since fractures in elderly people are extremely difficult to mend. Hearing this left our whole family deeply saddened. Then I suddenly remembered the Great Compassion Mantra. At first, I did not expect any immediate miracle. I simply believed that if I sincerely recited the mantra and prayed for my grandmother, whatever help she received would be a blessing. What mattered most was wholehearted sincerity. So I began reciting the Great Compassion Mantra and prayed that my grandmother's injuries would heal quickly and that she would be able to walk again. As I recall, I recited it only once or twice, perhaps 3 times at most. To my amazement, my grandmother gradually recovered from her injuries and was eventually able to walk again. It truly felt miraculous. Initially, I never expected such a quick recovery. I had heard that someone who recites the Great Compassion Mantra 1,200 times may have their sincere wishes fulfilled, receive healing from illness, and even dispel negative influences. Yet I had recited it fewer than 10 times, only 2 or 3 times in total. Sometimes I remembered to recite it, and sometimes I forgot. It was hardly a great effort on my part, yet the results seemed so extraordinary. Perhaps the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas compassionately bestowed additional blessings upon my grandmother.
Story 2. A Buddhist living in VT, whose Dharma name is KPQ, grew a banyan-style ornamental tree commonly cultivated as bonsai. One day he discovered that nearly half of the tree's leaves had been infested by aphids. The insects curled the leaves into nests, and when he opened them, he sometimes found dozens of aphids inside. It was quite disturbing to see. Having previously read a book titled Immediate Karmic Retribution, he had some understanding of the law of cause and effect. Because of this, he did not dare spray the tree with pesticides. Instead, he occasionally recited the Great Compassion Mantra over a bottle of water, usually 5 to 7 recitations each time, then sprayed that blessed water onto the tree. As he did so, he prayed to Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva that these aphids might exhaust their negative karma and be reborn in a better realm. Remarkably, after just over a month, every aphid had disappeared. The tree became lush and green once again, with no sign that it had ever been infested. Even more surprising, the aphids never returned during the long period that followed. Normally, when pesticides are used, the insects disappear temporarily but often return within a week or 2. The spiritual power of the Great Compassion Mantra truly seemed extraordinary. Story 3. The owner of an ornamental plant nursery in Vienna's Mekong Delta, whose Facebook nickname is NB, also adopted the same approach. At first, insects and caterpillars crawled over nearly every plant in his nursery. Looking around at neighboring nurseries, he saw the same problem. Although the other owners sprayed pesticides constantly, the infestations never truly disappeared. He decided to try a different path. Every morning he recited the Great Compassion Mantra 7 times, every evening another 7 times, and also recited 15 additional mantras from the Great Compassion 10 Short Mantras collection. He dedicated all the merit from these practices to the insects and pests. After only 1 or 2 months, he was astonished to find that almost all the pests had vanished from his nursery, leaving behind only a very small number. The owners of neighboring nurseries were equally surprised. They had tried every pesticide available with little success. In fact, many of the insects had become resistant to the chemicals and seemed to damage the plants even more aggressively. In reality, all beings that bring difficulties into our lives, whether human beings, spirits, animals, or even tiny creatures such as caterpillars and aphids, may be connected to karmic debts carried over from previous lifetimes. Without such karmic causes or negative karma from the past, they would have no basis for harming us. Therefore, if we truly wish to resolve these karmic obstacles, the only lasting solution is to repay those karmic debts and eliminate the underlying karma through sincere repentance and the cultivation of wholesome merit. Practices such as Buddha recitation, chanting sutras, reciting mantras, and responsibly releasing captive animals, while dedicating the resulting merit to those karmic creditors, help accomplish this. When the karmic debts have been repaid and the negative karma has been exhausted, those karmic adversaries naturally depart on their own.